Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all? I hope you all are doing great. Today we will start our next unit, unit number 4, the life cycles of animals. Class, every living thing has a life cycle. Life cycle means the stages of life. So, like other living things, animals too have their life cycles. Different animals have different life cycles. Let's discuss more about life cycles. A life cycle is something that happens over and over again. Here the word happens means किसी काम का होना. So here it means a life cycle is something that repeats again and again. All living things can make copies of themselves by having young ones. Young ones means their kids. Class, as we know that all living things have their kids are almost alike them. When the older one dies, their young ones replace them and have kids, and when they become older and die, their kids replace them, and that's how the life cycle continues. Class, in this unit we will discuss about the life cycles of frog, the life cycle of butterfly, the life cycle of bird, and the life cycle of fish. Let's start with the life cycle of a frog. Class, a frog starts its life as an egg. We can see in first stage there are frog's eggs, and we call these eggs spawns too. So class, inside these eggs the tadpole grows. Tadpole is the baby frog. When the tadpole completes its time inside the egg, it comes out of the egg. We can see in second stage, it has two parts. The one is the head part and the second is the tail part. Class, when the tadpole comes out of the egg, it begins to swim. At stage 3, the legs of tadpole grows. The stage 4 is the final stage of tadpole. At this stage, its jaws inside the mouth and front legs grow. Now at the final stage, the tail disappears. The word disappears means गायब होना. Now the tadpole becomes a frog. The frog then comes out of the water. So class, a frog completes its all stages underwater. So like a fish, a tadpole breathes through its gills. But when it becomes a frog, its lungs develop and it start breathing through its lungs like humans. So class, these all are the different stages of a frog. Now move on to the next life cycle, and that is the life cycle of a butterfly. Students, butterfly is an insect and all insects have a life cycle like that of the butterfly. At number 1 stage, we can see that the butterfly lays eggs. At stage number 2, a caterpillar comes out of the egg. This is the second stage of an insect or a butterfly's life cycle. The caterpillar stuffs itself with leaves. It eats the leaves, so that's why it is dangerous for crops somehow. Anyhow, at stage number 3, it becomes a pupa. So class, when a caterpillar is fully grown and stops eating, it becomes a pupa. Class, the pupa of butterfly is also called chrysalis. So class, at final stage, the wings of pupa grow and it becomes the butterfly. The life cycle of a fish. Class, most of the fish have babies by laying eggs in water. We can see at number 1 stage the eggs of fish. At stage number 2, the baby fish comes out of the eggs. The baby fish is called fry. Now the baby fish or fry starts finding and eating food by itself. Then it grows into a grown fish and becomes completely independent. We can see the fully grown fish at stage number 3. So class, that's how the life cycle of a fish completes. Now let's move on to the life cycle of birds. Class, all birds build a nest first and then lay eggs in it. Most birds lay up to 3 eggs. Here we will discuss about the life cycle of a hen, which is a bird. Class, first it lays eggs. Students' eggs have to be kept warm, so one of the birds sits on them. Similarly, a hen sits on its eggs for 21 days. At stage 2, we can see that the egg is hatched and the baby is coming out of the egg. Hatched mean अंडों से बाहर निकलना. The baby of hen is called chick. We can see a chick at stage number 3. At this stage, usually the birds are blind and bald. Bald means having no hair. So at this stage, their adult birds feed them. When they become strong and have grown feathers, they become independent and start searching food by themselves. We can see at stage 4, the chick becomes a hen. This is its final stage of its life cycle. If we talk about other birds, when they have grown feathers and become strong, they can fly, they leave the nest and build their own nest somewhere. Class, birds build their nest in all kinds of places. Usually the nests are high up in trees, but they can be built in walls, on cliffs and even on the grounds too. So class, this was all for this unit. We have discussed about the life cycle of frog, the life cycle of a butterfly, the life cycle of a fish, and lastly we have discussed about the life cycle of a bird. So class, all living things grow, they produce their young ones and their young ones replace them and then their young ones replace them. So that's how the life cycle continues and create the balance in the world. So class, without this, their breed can become extinct. So the life cycle of animals is very important for them to exist in this world. So class, read this chapter for at least 5 times and learn all the difficult words with spellings. Thank you so much.